What is up, you guys? This is Christian for Hustle and Bustle, and today we're going to talk about quite controversial topic: how much luck has to do with your actual success. If you ever wondered if your success is due to purely your hard work and talent, or luck has something to do with it, or majority of it is luck, please stay tuned, and in the meantime, enjoy the video. Hit the like button, consider subscribing, and leave a comment with your opinion. And I'm pretty sure in this video will be more opinions than on other videos, because it is not something that we can actually measure. In this video, I'm going to touch a lot on poker, which is my background, and other avenues of statistics and theory of probability that I like. And again, this is all my opinion. It is not very easy to come up with, hey, it is 3% luck or 5% luck or something like that. I went online and researched a little bit about the topic. There's other people who actually provided content on this topic, and it's pretty insightful. And if you're more interested to drill down the rabbit hole, feel free to do so. But let's begin. So first and foremost, in my opinion, your hard work and your talent and your hustle has a lot to do with where you're at right now, or the luck thereof. If you're not trying to achieve your goal, most likely your goal will not achieve by itself. Now, at some point you might get a lucky break and win the lottery, or even if you don't play the lottery, if you're lucky, anything's possible basically, right? You can trip and find a ticket that ends up being the winning ticket, and that's going to solve a lot of your financial problems, which can actually help you achieve whatever goals you had. Unless you actually want to become the best dancer, the best artist, the best singer. Without talent there, pretty sure it's not that easy. Money will not solve that problem. But let me just give a quick example, because sometimes people say you make your own luck, which is true to a point. I would agree to a point. Why? If you only try to, what example to give? If you ask a girl out and you ask just one girl out and she says no and that's it, is one thing. But if you ask 100, statistically 12 of them will give you their number. Statistically 5 to 6 of them will go out with you. So you can see how when you increase the sample size, you will get some success. Now, if you ask 100, the odds of you getting 100 yeses is not that likely. But if you ask one and you have a probability of success 12%, more often than not, she will say no. Let me illustrate in another way, poker related. So in poker, I don't believe the luck exists in poker. In life, I definitely do believe luck exists. So what I failed to mention is that, why do I believe what I just said? Well, in poker, we can play millions and billions of hands. We can play the same hand in a very different way, even if the board texture is the same and the opponent is the same. Now in life, you don't really have a redo in life. You get to live one life. That moment that you decided to do A instead of B is only once in a lifetime. Sometimes you might encounter the same situation twice, but not likely. What is luck? In poker, we refer to luck as sigma, or standard variance. And standard variance is something that, you have a, say, 80% chance of success, but that will not be, you run a certain hand 10 times and exactly 8 times you're going to win. And exactly 2 times you're going to lose. It's not how it works. Standard deviation is, from those 10 times, there are certain percentages that you're going to lose all 10 times, even if you're 80% into the hand favorite. And you might actually win all of the 10 times, even if you're just 80% favorite. If you play poker, you know what I mean. Sometimes you lose 2, 3, 4, 5 flips in a row. Grab a coin, flip it 10 times. Maybe you're gonna get 6 to 4, 6 heads, 4 tails. Now flip it 100 times, you're gonna have cluster of 6, 7 times in a row that you're gonna flip heads. But if you just flip it 10 times, odds of you hitting 7 times in a row heads, I think it was around 3%. But if you flip it 100 times, chances of you getting 7 times in a row heads or tails is about 30%. So if you run it 1,000,000 times, I have not checked the odds, but if you run it 1,000,000 times and you do not get cluster of 7 repeated heads or tails, now that becomes an anomaly because more than likely you should have had 7 in a row. So all I'm trying to illustrate with this is the more you hustle grind, you go to businesses and ask if they need your services, you go to houses and ask if they're trying to sell, you go to numerous amount of houses. You don't just go to 3 owners and ask them if they want to sell. All of them say no, and you're like, well, that doesn't work. Now if you go to 3,000, maybe 1 of them will say yes, maybe 10 of them will say yes. But when you increase the sample size, you're basically reducing the standard deviation. Now in poker, just an example, I'm going to calculate here real quick. I have played about 2.6 million hands. Now on average, you're going to get aces once every 225 times. So I'm going to divide that by 225. So I've gotten 11,555 times aces on average. I don't know the exact number, but this is the average that I should have gotten. Now, and you see what I'm trying to illustrate that. Now, imagine one time I lost those aces. Do you think I really care? I've had 11,555 times aces. Do you think I really care that I lost that one time? But what if I played just one? Let's say I played poker and I waited until I get aces and I got aces and I lost. Now I just have one sample size of this event happening. So in a way you can create your own luck when you increase the sample size. And sometimes luck is something that we don't really see. For example, I've watched another video here. I'm going to list a picture that runners that set up the world record, there are like 3 or 4 people who actually set the world record. From 5 of those people, I think 3 of them had tailwind that they didn't control. It's nothing that they do. It's not due to their talent. It's not that they worked hard or they didn't. But there are other people who were running as fast as them, or they could have run as fast as them, but they didn't catch that lucky tailwind. And there's many things like that in life. Obviously, I'm talking beyond the we're born with, we have all our limbs. We don't have any like other conditions and problems health-wise. When we eliminate that, because that definitely can be a drag. Back to the poker analogy, from that 11,555, on average, I should have won 80% of those. So that's 9,244 aces or hands with aces that I won. Do you think if it was not 9244 but I actually won 9243, that would really matter on the bottom line of my income from poker? It wouldn't. But the reason why it wouldn't is because I have such a huge sample size. I played so many hands that one time that is actually I didn't win but I was supposed to really didn't matter. So I'm trying to illustrate to you that if you go to 100 locations to ask to place your ATM, say you're like me into the ATM business, and on average 3% of them are going to say yes. Now imagine from those 100 locations 2 of them say yes. That's 33% less than average, which is kind of a big deal. Now imagine you go and ask 10,000 or 100,000. So now 300 people have to say yes on average, but 299 do, not 300. Do you think that's a big deal now? No, because that 1 out of 300 accounts for 0.3% of your actual success rate. So the more you increase the volume, the less the standard deviation becomes, the less you care who says yes and no in your business. And I want to touch on something else with luck and success. Sometimes we meet the right people at the right place, at the right time. And maybe we went to dinner that we didn't really want to go to dinner, but last second we decided, all right, I'll come with you. And we ended up meeting that guy or that girl or whatever that just happened to have interest in investing in some business that we're in. Happened many times. All the people I know in real estate, it happened by accident. I went on one meeting, met one guy, then he told me about another meeting that I went and I met 2 other people, and now I'm bridging all those people together with a person who does hard money loans, with a person who's flipping houses, with a person who's doing management, and now I'm like, oh, I don't even need to use my money anymore. Just grab the money from him, give it to him, he fixes the house, or give it to him, he finds me the property, he fixes the house, and he does the managing for me. But I wouldn't be able to achieve all that unless I went to that one meeting. And I don't know if that's true what I'm gonna say, but you can look at it as binary. I don't know if that's the real way to look at it, but either everything is luck or nothing is luck, because any event that you did or anything in your life can be really broken down to that one lucky event that you know spiraled the rest of the events, like the butterfly effect. If you haven't seen the movie, watch it. So all in all, I think luck is important, but we cannot rely solely on luck. We cannot just be sitting on our ass doing nothing all day and be, which reminds me of, oh my God, last year I met one guy, the year before, 2019, I met one guy who was a coworker of a friend of mine, and I was just asking, so what's your plan? He's a young dude, like 20, 23, and I'm like, so what's your plan? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to be? And he's like, oh, I'm not worried. And I'm like, not worried about what? He tells me, oh, my plan is to win from the lottery, and after that I'm going to be set up for life. So that was, and he was dead serious. Like that was his actual plan: sit on his ass and basically win from the lottery. Needless to say, he didn't. Alright guys, that's it for today. If you find that content of value, please give it a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. In the meantime, keep hustling, because the more you hustle, the more you increase your chances to, and actually you don't increase your chances, the chances are the same, but you lower the standard deviation or the variance, or how most people refer to it as luck. So the more you reduce that luck factor. See you next time, guys.